What's up, Chocoholics? It's King Chocolate back in the mix, baby. Like, comment, share, subscribe. The more you hit, the more you get. If this is your first time seeing me, put it in the comment section. Let me know that you never seen me before, and let me know that you subscribe to my channel if you do. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. Like, comment, share, subscribe. The more you hit, the more you get. It's good to be back with you collectives, Chocoholics, Dream Team, and fans and subscribers. What I'm about to do is I'm about to react to something that happened yesterday. Shout out to Raquel the Bell, sent me the video of the young man that got shot in Utah at the college campus. I'm gonna just put my opinion on it. I'm gonna tell my thoughts. I'm gonna react to it. Tell me what you think about it. But one thing before we start, I wanna say this. A lot of people in this country, in this world, always talk about the First Amendment and, you know, freedom of speech. We can say what we want, and we can have our own opinion. And I believe that we do have our own opinion. Kind of like my channel. Some people not raw and rough enough to understand my channel or my personality or nothing. That ain't my business. That's their business. We all got opinion. Some people like blue, some people like red, some people like white, green, whatever. But in my opinion, we're gonna break this thing down. It's a short 8-minute video, but I'm gonna break it down the best I can on what I think about what happened yesterday, because I think it's a tragedy. I think it's stupid. I think people have a right to their opinion. The young man, I heard his speeches a few times, and I agree with a lot of things he say. Some things I didn't agree with, but I definitely wouldn't want nobody offed or life taken because of their opinion. Watch this.
Gunshot and I'm sorry. You just see his neck just like open up and there's just like so much blood that just came out.
All of a sudden, and a second later, I heard a gunshot and everybody started like running in like a mob.
Basically, I just heard a shot and I saw him falling towards the left, so I knew he got shot in the collarbone or the leg, right?
I want y'all to understand what y'all heard all last night was there was one shot. One shot, not 5 or 6 shots. There was one shot, which meant it was a sniper. In my opinion, I believe it was a professional hitman working for a certain group of people who wanted their boy dead. We're gonna hear that the gunshot didn't happen until he mentioned transgender and guns. A lot of people is debating about gun rights and should Chicago have guns? Should we get the guns off the street? And a lot of gun people say we should keep the guns on the streets. That's, like I said, that's an opinion. But this man lost his life. And you can see the first girl that just came on here was scared. She said she's heard that one shot, 200 yards away, this person was nailed. And what you get ready to see is there's surveillance showing a person in all black on top of a roof 200 feet away, and they nailed him with one shot. Tell me that don't sound like a police officer or a professional hitman or a military person. Most hood folks ain't gonna nail you 200 feet away, especially when they shooting sideways and all of that type of foolishness, if you know what I mean. Thank you very much. The shooter got away. I think that's suspicious. I think it's stupid. We know somebody knows something about something. You can't plan this by yourself. Get on the roof, come back down, make it out, nobody catch you. It was definitely a setup. It was definitely an inside job. Somebody's gonna tell, you know, the ego out prophet gonna tell you how it's gonna go. Somebody gonna tell who did it and why and all of that. We all know it's because of his stance on LGBT, abortion, and all that type of stuff, which is his opinion. Like I said, I agree with some of the things that young man used to say, but not everything. Maybe he probably had he checked me out, he probably said, I agree with some of the things King Chocolate say, but maybe not everything, you know what I'm saying? But should I have my life taken because you don't agree with the fact I don't like guys that talk like sissies? Or should you take my life because I think that women should act like women and not like a man? Think about what I'm saying. That's what they took his life for. They took his life because of his opinion. This man wasn't a gangster. He wasn't on dope. He had 2 kids and a wife, and on Facebook and a lot of different sites, they laughing about it. But the word of God says, whatsoever we sow, we're going to reap it. A lot of people just laughing and saying, he deserved it. He was a racist. With that word just getting thrown all over the place. Donald Trump's a racist. He's a racist. You're a racist, 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 racist. I don't even think people know what the word racist means, but let's go check this out.
Chilling new footage appears to purportedly show the assassin who fatally shot U.S. President Donald Trump ally Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University, dodging across a rooftop just moments after pulling the trigger. The grainy clip was filmed from inside a campus building, directly behind the tent where Kirk was speaking. More than 3,000 people who had gathered for Kirk's Prove Me Wrong.
Did y'all see that? They showing the picture. Surveillance seen a guy on the roof, but nobody said nothing. Nobody said, yo, get him down. There was people in Utah, they could say what they want, that knew it was going down yesterday. They knew that the next day was 9/11, September 11, which is today. This country is cursed. It's Sodom and Gomorrah here. You can get unalived, as they call it on YouTube. You can get unalived for your opinion. You can get unalived because you don't like sissies. You can get unalived because you love God. You can get unalived for anything. So for the ones that's laughing and joking and saying he deserved this, stuff like that, what's going to happen when it's your child? What's going to happen when it's your girlfriend? What's going to happen when it's your boyfriend or your mother or your cousin speak out in the name of Jesus or something and somebody blow their brains out? What would you do? You know what people do? They would want to march. They would want to go get Al Sharpton and all these other weird people, and they would want to yell and scream, no justice, no peace. Race didn't have nothing to do with this. This was all about politics. We don't like your opinion about abortion and transgender. We want women to dress like men. We want men to act like women, and we don't want nobody to speak against it. That's why they took them out. It happens a lot in this country. But they seen a picture from surveillance. Where was security? Why wasn't they around? Why did they have this meeting outdoors and not indoors? See, everybody would have been frisked had you had it inside. Looked like this was plotted months and months in advance. Get them outside, get them in the middle of the field, boom, take a good shot, make sure nobody else is around. Think about what I'm saying, check me out.
Can be seen diving for cover as chaos erupted in the quad. But above the frantic crowd, a small dark figure can be spotted rising on a rooftop across the courtyard before darting swiftly out of view.
He just disappeared.
Kirk was in the middle of answering a question about mass shootings by transgender suspects when a bullet struck him in the neck. Graphic audience.
The bullet struck him in the neck after somebody that was a transgender asked him about transgender and guns. That was the safe word. That was the word to say, go, pop them. Once the man started saying transgender and guns, boom, the shot went off. If you can't tell that was orchestrated, then you in denial. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, you know, in my opinion. I don't care about nobody else's opinion. I just care about man's. I don't think he should have lost his life because of his political views. The man was smart. The man was educated. A lot of people didn't like it. We live in a country and a world where if you disagree, they will want to take your life. Remember what happened to Michael Jackson when he spoke out against Sony Records and Tommy Mottola? Eventually they got him. Aaliyah told those people no, and they got her. Left Eye was going to meet with Dr. Sebi, and they got her. They'll get you if you call yourself gonna change or bring change. See, this young man was 30 years old. He had the ability to reach a lot of young people and have them to just open their minds to different points of view. You ain't got to agree with everything I say or nobody else. But one thing we should do as human beings is listen to both sides of the story. Check me
Video
out.
shows the conservative commentator slumping lifelessly in his chair as blood gushed out.
It was a wrap.
His security detail scrambled to his side, dragging him from the stage and racing him off campus. He was pronounced dead minutes later, his team confirmed. Police and federal agents mounted an intense manhunt for the sniper believed to have fired the single gunshot that killed Charlie Kirk. Security camera footage showed a person believed to be the assailant dressed in all black clothing, Mason told reporters. But some 8 hours after the killing, authorities said they still had no suspect in custody. State police issued a statement saying that 2 men had been detained and one was interrogated by law enforcement, but both were released. There are no current ties to the shooting with either of these individuals, the statement said.
We do still have an active investigation for the person of interest. This incident occurred with a large crowd around. There was 1 shot fired and one victim. While the suspect...
1 shot fired. That was a professional did that. That's not really easy to do unless you trained in the service or something like that to nail somebody 200 feet away with 1 shot in the neck and you take their life. He hit him in the right place. Had to be the jugular. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard of going for the jugular? Once that jugular get hit, it's a wrap. Should that young man have passed away because of the foolishness in the politics? No, I don't think so. You know, why do we have politics? To talk about different sides and issues, not to take one of. Now, it's getting so bad to where now all of us gotta wonder when we get a big platform and we going to speak on a stage somewhere, you gotta wonder who's on the roof. How is this man able to climb that roof, get off the roof after surveillance seen him? Y'all just seen the guy. That's not AI, that's real deal. He gets away. They arrest 2 people and talks to them and release both of them. That was a hesitation to throw people off while this man got away. Whoever did it, he was up there by himself. You know what I'm saying? Others was working with him. The key word was transgender and guns. Once that person heard that, that was the key to shoot. The person that asked the guy the question should be questioned and detained because he got something to do with it. I ain't a snitch, I don't care. But what I'm saying is, I'm a speaker, and I got a right to my opinion. I'm protected by the Most High. I'm protected by God, whose name is I Am. You understand me? But what I'm telling my chocoholics and people that probably never seen before is this. This is a joke. This is a real reaction. This ain't no stupid political nonsense, clickbait bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk should not have lost his life because of his opinion. You know what I'm saying? He not out here doing dope and mess with nobody, stealing and robbing. So I say, you let him live. You know, let him eat. You feel me? Check it out.
Is at large, we believe this was a targeted attack towards one individual. The shot came from here on campus, from a location at potentially from a roof, yes. A longer distance shot from a roof.
I've been in touch with President Trump, with FBI Director Kash Patel. We are completely aligned with our state and federal partners as we work through this case. Now, this is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination. But I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
I was 15 feet away, and it was really hard to witness. He had just finished talking about his first subject was talking about, you know, the Mormon faith, and somebody had come up that converted from atheism to the Mormon faith. He talked about how much he loves us, and you know, it feels like they just have different opinions, and that's okay, but he loves our Mormon faith and he loves everybody, and it was just a lot of love and joy and kindness, you know. And then the next person came up, and it almost felt like a cue to me, because they talked about transgender gun violence, and then as the guy said shooting or shooters or something like that, you just hear the gunshot and I'm sorry. You just see his neck just like open up and there's just like so much blood that just came out. It was horrible. And all I felt was like everybody bringing me down to the ground. And I was sorry. All I hear is screaming, and I see people running, and I'm like, it's not safe to run, it's not safe to get up, it's not. And all I'm saying is, please God, please God, please God, because I don't want to die, I don't want anybody else to die, and I think I just saw a guy die, you know? And, we ended up getting up, and about 20, 30 seconds later, and running into the building, and they took all the witnesses that were pretty close, me and about 12 other people, and we sat there for about an hour, and we're all just crying and seeing people posting the videos on social media. It was horrifying. It was horrible. I looked to see if there was a shooter. I didn't see anything. All I could see was Charlie was taken right away, and we were just still on the ground freaking out, not knowing what to do.
So I was watching the event, and I saw Charlie Kirk.
Ain't that terrible? Now, some of those youngsters are traumatized. Probably don't even want to go back to school, you know what I'm saying? Because of some bozo who decided to shoot from a roof. But us chocoholics know there's no way he was acting alone. It was a he, it wasn't a she. You heard the girl say it was like it was a secret code. He mentioned transgender and then shootings after the guy asked him a question about that, and bam, the shot came. That was the cue. They said as soon as he started talking about trans this and trans that, we're gonna get him. People in that audience knew it was gonna happen. I believe some people in the government knew it was gonna happen. And I believe those the times we're living in. This guy was real close with Donald Trump. He looked up to him and things like that. A lot of people didn't like that. Some people did like that. But the bottom line is, if we're going to be taking people's lives because of opinions, then that means we all doomed. You dig what I'm saying? You know that's not the will of God. I ain't talking about no religious BS, because remember, Utah is known for having the Church of the Latter-day Saints and the Mormons. You ever hear about the Mormons? You know, a lot of religions sleep with their children and they have 5 wives and 5 husbands and all that type of stuff. Sodom and Gomorrah. We living in those kind of days. It's like the days of Noah, when the prophets are saying, hey, this thing is getting bad, it's going to rain, which is judgment. Rain meant judgment. God's going to judge fake tarot readers. He's going to judge snipers, people that's working together to get certain agendas down and everything like that. He's going to deal with it one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So whoever did it, they're going to get caught if they don't take their own life. But watch what happens. Somebody's going to tell. I'm glad y'all see this here first. A lot of people just trying to solve stuff. It ain't nothing to solve. It was planned. It was set up. Somebody's going to tell where the person is that did it. They might find them not living or whatever. But you better believe there's going to be a copycat that says, yeah, I'm going to go to a university and do the same thing. Don't y'all notice that with these mass shootings? They say, oh, they did it in Chicago. I might as well do it in St. Louis, and then Milwaukee, and then LA. We got a copycats. The demons is getting worse and worse, but everybody's saying in the name of Jesus. Everybody's saying they're a Christian. Everybody's saying they're holy. Everybody's saying the left is right, the right is right, the blue states, red states, this and that. Ain't nothing but separatism going on. You dig what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, let's talk about our amendment. First right, freedom of speech. Did they let him speak yesterday and finish his question and finish his debate? No. So what's going to happen when another set of people, who's more like Camel to Kamala and them, gets gunned down for saying what they got to say about Barack and his nonsense and Biden and them? What's going to happen? We're in war, folks. We're in war. It's time to take this thing serious. This is not a game. This is not a joke. You feel me? He left behind 2 kids and a wife. Shame. Shame, shame. Those kids gonna grow up without their father. I don't care what their daddy believed in. He wasn't messing with me. They should have left him alone, in my opinion. You dig what I'm saying? This is my reaction to the situation, you know? It's about a minute left on this clip, but I think it's gonna be like the police saying that they don't know what's going on and different things like that, but the whole thing is sad.
Start talking and stuff, and all of a sudden all of a sudden, in a second later, I heard a gunshot, and everybody started like running in like a mob through the doors, and like it was scary.
Yeah, it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing for the students. When I saw students running off from the campus over the bridge there, they were a lot of them were crying. It was traumatizing for everyone, and now the campus is closed.
So I was about 15 to 20 feet away from him, standing kind of towards the right direction of the booth.
It's sad. Some innocent person who didn't have nothing to do with his speech could have got hit. Imagine if his kids was in his lap or at that table with him. Would they have got those kids too? How about his wife? I think they would have. That's how evil people is. They laughing about it. They was fist bumping in the park on the side of the university. Some people was cheering and laughing, some people wasn't. But the bottom line is my reaction about this whole situation is it's sick, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? What if that happened to our family members? They just going to preach God's word, or they just going to, you know, go to an album release party, and they going to speak on their record that they just dropped or something like that, and somebody say, I don't like their opinion, I don't like the way they make music, and they just take lives. Now we're talking about a purge. Now we're talking about insanity and craziness and war. This is what I think about it. It's wrong, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. What's gonna happen with when a lady who was outside laughing about that lose her child's father, and she gotta raise the kids for herself, and she can't get EBT in Section 8. She can't get WIC program. What's gonna happen? You know what she gonna think of? I remember I laughed at this young man who lost his life for no reason at all. You heard me? Remember this, people. Whatever we put out is gonna come back to us. Can you dig it? My name is King Chocolate. Be safe. Check your kids' phones. You'll be surprised what's being planned. You'll be surprised the nonsense that they hearing and reacting to and talking like fools about. You'll be surprised who's telling them, I'm gonna get my teacher, I'm gonna get the principal, I'm gonna blow their brains, I'm gonna get them. You'll be surprised. Don't be surprised at nothing these days, you dig what I'm saying? If you want to book a one-on-one session with King Chocolate, you book it back onto my email. Tell me what you want to do. You dig what I'm saying? The more you hit, the more you get. Shout out to all my subscribers, Chocoholics, and the Dream Team. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to my fans. If this is your first time seeing me, put it in the comment section. Let me know that you never seen me before. Let me know that you subscribe to my channel. I got that dog in me. I ain't scared of nothing. I'm under God's umbrella. We protected. If we're not under His umbrella and we just go where we want to go, you know, in the name of politics or whatever, you'll be surprised what's going to happen. You feel me? I hope y'all enjoy your Thankful Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know what I'm saying? My name is King Chocolate. Let me ring y'all's bell for some honey, money, and whatever else you need. I'm out of here, baby.